Hey, it's Eric here at Peachtree Classic Cars, and this is a 1969 Dodge D100 shop truck, short bed. I like to call these restorations. This thing is really cool. The guy who built this, we got this about a year ago, and we've had it at our shop using it as a shop truck. Actually put it on a 1995 Dakota chassis. So the nice thing is, all underneath it is, you know, late model. So you got your independent suspension, V8, 318 V8, automatic with overdrive, power steering, power disc brakes. It's got air conditioning. AC was blowing cold this summer. It's been a really cold winter. So if I turn the AC on right now, of course it feels like it's blowing cold, but it may need to be recharged. Really cool reclaimed barnwood bed. And just absolutely I think this truck is just the coolest. I love the fact that they retain the original wheels and hubcaps. It's got the little, you know, white striped tires on it, and they're older tires. They have good tread on them, but they may have a little bit of weather cracking. I was looking to see if I saw that. I don't think the tires are actually that old, and we've been driving around on the tread. Looks like they're new. But the body on this thing is really killer. It's got an old, really old faded, like hardwood hardware store kind of a look, and we kind of thought about continuing to sand that off. I was thinking that we might put our logo on it or something, but of course, you know, we're in the business of, you know, fixing and selling and trading and all that stuff. So we thought, you know, let somebody else maybe this would be a great way to put your shop logo on there. How's it going? You don't get to see me very often in these videos. So lights work, yeah, hot heat, easy to open. I just opened that with one hand. Somebody brought, you know, the previous guy that built this, you know, brought all the stuff over, including the firewall from the Dakota. So I think that's actually another really cool thing. You know, it wasn't meant to be super clean looking, but just a little bit of detail work on the welds and things like that, you know, if you wanted it to be cleaned up looking. I never thought really that this truck needed anything. We've been running it and driving it and enjoying it. You know, a little spot of rust here. So if I said it absolutely needed something, I found a little power steering leak on one of the hoses, and you know, that's a super easy repair. We just found that actually today, and we said, hey, let's pull it out, wash it off real quick and get it up for sale. You know, sometimes we find little things. That's just how these old vehicles are. The body is, you know, really shop truck patinaed style. So it's got spots all the way around it, you know, that are a little bit rusty, a couple little holes here. Really cool. This is the kind of tailgate that it tempts me to take it off and want to hang it on the wall. It's so cool. Like I said, the lights, brake lights work, the turn signals, a little rust on the bottom of the door, but I wouldn't fix any of that. So the power steering is what I noticed. The other thing is too, that it does have really old shocks on the back. I thought about actually maybe just putting some air shocks on the back, which is another really easy little project. The thing I like I think that the guy that's buying a truck like this is somebody who wants to tinker with it just a little bit. So really cool inside. Driver's window rolls really easily all the way up and down. Passenger window was getting just a little bit stuck, and it's missing the little plastic on that side, but the door opens and closes just fine. Hinge pockets are in good shape. Little rust and some repair down there. Diamond plate reinforced. It's got an old 60s model seat in it. I think that might be a Ford seat and not a Dodge seat. In fact, when we first got this truck, it had a, you know, like the Dakota seat in it, and I don't go for that. I like things like this, no matter what, to continue to look as original as possible. And you know, that's just the way that I like antique automobiles. So I love that they retained, for the most part, the original look. We got actually bought this carpet kit brand new, just installed it actually this morning. So I mean, I haven't even driven it a mile or two with this new carpet. All the heater, like I said, is hooked up, AC blowing. But like I said, I wanted to keep it kind of as, you know, always want to try to keep these things as original as possible. Doors shut really good. Found the old seat belts for it, kind of just hanging out in the back. I would put some brand new seat belts in it with those. I just tossed those in the garbage. They're really old and ugly looking. I wouldn't want those sitting on the seat. To get some aircraft buckle seat belts. I love this wood grain steering wheel. Looks great. It does make the airbag light come on. It would be really easy actually to just pull the bulb on that, because obviously the airbags are not hooked up anymore with this new body. Windshield does have a crack, and it doesn't bother me, but for some people, you know, putting in a new windshield's not that expensive. Get the new, I get the new weather stripping. I thought that this retains the original look and keeps it that rat rod style look. Tank was installed here. All the gauges work too as well. Pull the light switch. Yeah, lights are on. As far as I'm concerned, this truck's ready to be jump in and drive today. The one thing, like I said, we discovered that little power steering leak this morning, and discerned that was just a little, you know, that hose actually just going into the power steering. Works great. We're going to take it for a drive. Great sounding engine. Love this exhaust. It's perfect. I just love the way that sounds. Primary and secondary hood hinges work great. Never overheated on us. Actually, never mechanically had anything wrong with this truck in the last year that we've owned it. Oh, you know what? Before I take it for a drive, which will be the end of my video, let me show you guys the underneath. I forgot to do that before I cranked it up. So like I said, Dakota frame underneath. This one hose right here is a hose that needs to be replaced right there. Just found that this morning. You know, of course, this is all your Dakota underneath. I mean, look, you can see a lot of new parts going back, bushings, putting the truck back together. Zero rust on the frame. You know, it's a 1995 frame. This is a Southern States truck. So, cab corners, but everything that is the frame, you know, these are always the main concerns for everyone. Actually, the floor pans are pretty good. Of course, they've been, you know, they're basically newer, much newer floor pans. I don't know exactly when this was built. It looks like years ago. But like I said, we just put the carpet in. There's no rust in the floor pans because it's basically all new. Rear end, you know, surface rust, of course, on, you know, metal parts. And like I said, shocks. You see that these shocks are rusty. And they still retain some spring to them. But if it was me, I'd just get some air shocks. That'd be a great way to finish that off and be able to, you know, put up more of a load in the back or do some towing if you want to. Frame on this side. Rockers are in good shape. Cab corner actually really solid. That's the thing, is even though I kind of like to call these restorations, this is not an overly rusty vehicle. This is not what, personally, at least from my perspective, you know, yes, it's got a few little spots here and there, you know, I've been showing, but this is not a rusted out, rusty bucket falling apart truck. This is, you know, was put together, bought and put together, intended to look like this. That's probably the worst spot. And all of these too, like I said earlier, you can be a do-it-yourselfer, or if I took this over to my welder and dropped it off and said, hey, you know, would you clean things like that up for me? Not an expensive thing to do. Not that I personally would even do that. If this was my truck, I would leave this stuff alone. So that's the bottoms of the rear fenders, you know, there you go. That's that side. Let me make sure I show the other side, and then I'll hop in real quick. I didn't want to run too long on the video. This side's actually pretty good with that one, just that one little spot there. Man, I love this truck. You know, I can't keep them all, but I think this thing would look really cool with our classic car logo on the side. Doors open and shut nice. All the gauges work. Power steering, like I said, I mean, you can drive this thing with one finger. Hitting the brakes here, I'm not touching the steering wheel at all, so it doesn't pull to the left or the right. Turning around in the cul-de-sac here, I mean, this is the beauty of the modern drivetrain. Tons of power. Listen to the transmission shift gears. Absolutely perfectly smooth engine. Runs perfectly smooth. Transmission shifts through every gear smoothly. And again, with I'd put seatbelts in it probably before I did it, but with the, you know, modern underneath, you know, you could do 90 miles an hour down the freeway in a truck like this. I mean, it's basically a 95 Dakota underneath with a, you know, 69 D100 on top. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I don't think that the wipers were hooked up. That was one thing that I thought. I just tried the wiper, you know, the old on the column. That's the wiper. So what I would do is, you know, just get the aftermarket. You know, you got a couple of holes here. You could throw an electric wiper motor in it, like from a hot rod. You know, you can get them from all kinds of places, like Summit Racing, for example, and get the wipers working. So there you have it. Give us a call. We're at PeachTreeClassicCars.com, and we look forward to hearing from you.